Griffith, the representative from Virginia. Thank you. Is now recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman, and thank you for allowing me to participate in this hearing. Ms. Walters, thank you so much for being the first person to make this public and for reaching out for help. Dr. Edwards, everybody in Southwest Virginia and at Virginia Tech and all over the region are so very proud to call you one of ours. Thank you for the work that you have done. I was talking with President Sands of Virginia Tech just a few minutes before the hearing started out in the hallway. I did not know Ms. Walters at the time, and I was going over your resume and just saying, you know, this guy, his resume is a wow. And she walked up and she said, and he's a wow of a person too. What a great endorsement from a mom who reached out to protect her kids to a white knight who was willing to be there to come in and charge. And I can't tell you how proud I am to represent Southwest Virginia, but particularly to have people in my district of your caliber. We may not always agree. I don't have any idea. But I recognize somebody who will not be handled. And in the mountains of Southwest Virginia, those people always get respect. And I appreciate that. That being said, I do have a few questions that I would like to ask. One being, up to this point in time, if somebody made a complaint to me while I had other battles with the EPA, if it dealt with air or water, I would say, well, the EPA hadn't said there's a problem. Am I to take from the testimony here today, in your opinion, that maybe I need to go beyond relying on the EPA when it comes to whether or not the water supply in my district has been affected?
I wish I could say otherwise, but events have proven you correct.
I hope that should you know of any issues that I need to be looking at in the district, that you will let me know about that. Likewise, I kind of got the impression that citizens, other moms across the country probably ought to be calling their local water supply companies and their local municipalities, et cetera, and just asking them, are you doing the proper testing? Am I correct in that, Dr. Edwards?
I'm ashamed to say that, yes, you are correct.
Well, I appreciate that. I saw your written testimony in advance and thought you had some good comments about the fact that this is something we need to do, and that is that the rise of institutional scientific misconduct is a relatively new phenomenon. Clearly, we do not have adequate checks and balances on the power of these agencies, and you're referring to the EPA and CDC when you said that, nor do we hold them accountable for their unethical actions. And I assume you stand by that nothing in this hearing today has changed your opinion in that regard.
No, nothing's changed.
And I will tell you that I was having a conversation. I'm a recovering attorney. I like to joke with my friends. I was having a conversation with an attorney friend of mine a few days ago, I guess it was last week, who also has been involved with the Brain Injury Services of Southwest Virginia and has previously chaired the Virginia Office for Protection and Advocacy, which is an independent state agency that tries to take care of folks with disabilities, protect the rights of those with disabilities. He and I were talking about this. He indicated to me that he, like you today, have expressed that he thought there must be something criminal, that it wasn't just a matter of saying you're sorry and fixing it, that there were probably people who needed to go to jail. And so I couldn't help but think, as listening to the testimony and the questions earlier, and Mr. Amash said that he thought it was a bad thing, or he indicated it was bad, when the attorney for Mr. Early said it was nonsensical for him to come and testify. I suspect that maybe what the attorney meant to say is you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. Would you disagree with my assessment of that response by his attorney?
I'm not a lawyer, so I'll stay away from that one.
I appreciate that. I know it's been a long day for all of you. I do appreciate the testimony. Again, Ms. Walters, appreciate you stepping up. Dr. Edwards, thank you for taking your own time, your own energy, the resources from your discretionary funds that you have spent on this cause. You were not handled by anybody, including the Federal Government. And again, I do respect that and appreciate it. And with that, Mr. Chairman, I yield back.
Thank the gentleman. I will recognize Mr. Cummings, the ranking member, then myself, and then